This cow is walking on the tips of her left front foot. She doesn't want to put any weight on that. You can tell by this hoof angle, it's almost straight up and down. The reason why lies here. Welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. As I begin to clean the debris from these claws, this problem will become evident. You can actually see part of it right now, but this will become much clearer as I get this cleaned up. The grooves in this heel bulb are what's known as heel horn erosion. This is caused from the slurry eating away at that hoof horn, and that's what causes these deep ridges. We're going to clean these out so that that doesn't trap or harbor any more bacteria later on. Earlier on, I mentioned this steep foot angle, and you can see it better here when we look at the heels. Look at how deep these heels are. That's a result of that digital dermatitis on that other claw. And now I'm going to trim this in a different fashion than I normally would. Normally when you see me trim, I'm going to try to improve foot angle by creating a steeper foot angle. I'm going to do the opposite here. I'm going to do that by removing horn at the heel and none at the toe. That's going to level that foot back out, give me it closer to the more proper foot angle that I'm supposed to have, and that's going to make her more comfortable walking. That steep foot angle is due to her walking on the tips of her toes. If you notice, her toes are going to need no trimming whatsoever because they're already the correct length. Actually, maybe even a touch shorter than I want them to be. So I'm going to do most of the removal here at the heels, and that's going to create the right foot angle. Now, normally I wouldn't do any trimming on the wall of the hoof, but here there was a deep crack that I wanted to remove. I don't want that to cause any problems later on. This dermatitis is on the heel, but typically it'll start in that interdigital cleft area, as you see here. Sometimes it'll work its way then up to that heel. Other times you'll find it in between the claws, sometimes in front of the claws, with some large lesions like this one. Sometimes they're very small, like this. Now, typically, the bacteria that cause these lesions are controlled by the use of a foot bath on these dairy farms. However, once these lesions form and they become of some size, they're hard to control with just a foot bath. You need to do a treatment on these to really knock these lesions back first, and then we run a foot bath to maintain that condition, to maintain the healthy feet. Foot baths are not great for killing a large number of these bacteria or to reduce the lesions, I should say. They're more used to keep the bacteria under control and keep these lesions from forming in the first place. Like I said, once they're there, we need to spot treat them like I'm going to do here. And that way we can get that lesion back down. Then that foot bath can do its job and prevent any future lesions on this farm. The reason this one happened to get as large as it did is because when she was trying to walk, she was walking on her tiptoes, and quite likely that foot bath chemical wasn't hitting these areas on this claw. Later on throughout this winter time period, that lesion was able to form and get larger and larger. Now we're going to knock that back. We've created that foot angle again that's going to be more close to where it's supposed to be. Now when she walks through that foot bath, we're going to be able to get good coverage on that heel, and hopefully we won't have this problem again. As I've said, we're going to treat this with some salicylic acid. We're going to get this wrapped up, take care of this lesion now, and that way she can walk more comfortably. You'll notice when she walks out, she's not comfortable on this foot. These lesions are painful for these cows. That's why we need to get them treated. That's why digital dermatitis is such a problem on dairy farms throughout the country. As we said, foot baths are the key to keeping these bacteria under control. When we do that, we can keep lameness at a minimum. That's going to do it, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.